Good evening. It is February 25th, 2019. I'm going to explain why we experienced high winds in Indianapolis, Indiana yesterday, and why we didn't today. Once again, I explained this on Facebook Live yesterday, but this is the Sun, this is the Earth in acute orbit and obtuse orbit. Obtuse orbit means we're further away from the Sun's magnetic pull. Acute orbit means we're closer to the Sun's magnetic pull. Now, the Sun and the Earth have an opposing magnetic force, which means that there's a push and a pull between the two that create our magnetosphere, which is a part of our atmosphere that surrounds the Earth and protects us from large asteroids and other metallic things. When we are in obtuse orbit, we are further from the Sun's magnetic opposing force. Therefore, the Moon becomes closer. Our Earth's magnetic pull actually pulls the Moon in closer because we're further from the Sun, which actually, the magnetosphere is part of what holds the Moon out. Anyway, once we come back in to acute orbit from obtuse orbit, our atmosphere is weakened. Our magnetosphere is weakened because we've been out of the Sun's opposing force. So we come back and the force has to build. It needs 24 hours to build a complete rotation of the Earth for it to build that magnetosphere back to full strength, and therefore the first day in acute orbit will give you very high winds because there's solar winds breaking through the atmosphere, which is weakened because we've been away from the Sun. Then when you move to the second day of acute orbit, no wind. You're still good, feels warm. Third day, temperature's starting to drop more, and still not very windy, and then back into obtuse orbit. You're welcome. Now, it's not very hard to understand. It's hard to explain. It's not hard to understand. This is our true orbit. This track. We shift, and that's what causes us to see different constellations in the sky at different times of year. It's also what causes us to have different seasons. You're welcome. And be able to see different planets, because if we weren't changing position in our solar system, we would not be able to see different planets at different times of the year. You're welcome. Science lesson by Lucky Numbers. Have a nice day. 9th grade dropout.